Hello and welcome back to the Ginger Joe Racing Show. We have an esteemed special guest from the Cheltenham Exchange. I can't keep my mouth shut about horses when he's given. Mr. Racing Boss Man, Ian Rayner. Hello, Ian. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jamie. Thanks for having on. Thank you, Liam. How are we both? Are we good?
And I'm also
I'm all
joined
good.
by my fellow wingman when he can't keep off his Oddschecker jumper, Mr. Liam Firkin, tipstar himself. How are you, Liam?
I'm very well. Barely worn this is, Jamie, I'll have you know. But yes, I'm very well, thank you, mate. The nights are getting darker earlier. It means that the national hunt season isn't too far away. But I'm looking forward to this weekend. There's loads of decent racing. So yeah, I'm all good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Oh, I can't wait to go through 13 races. We'll do them as quickly as possible. We won't keep people here all night. So, we'll move on. 13 races to cover between Doncaster and the Curragh and Leopardstown for the whole weekend. So, we'll start off over in the UK where it's not as good as racing as Ireland. But anyway, the 150 at Doncaster is the Betfred Champagne Stakes, and the favourite here for Andrew Bowling is Jawan, who won at York. Oxagon is 7-4. Sabbath Desert could be going to Ireland at fives. Italy is fives. Cape Orator is nines. 14th Pacific Avenue, and it's 16-1 bar. Ian Rayner, since you are back on the show, we'll give you first dibs. Anything stand out here?
Okay. I've narrowed it down to two, Jamie. One of them is Sabbath Desert that you said about. I think he's got the £3. I'm sure that's due to the Group Two win they had at, was it Newbury or York? I think it was York. So I've narrowed it down to two.
Newmarket.
But
He beat Italy at Newmarket.
yeah, okay. So it's I don't know. I'd like the price is on Kuwait is quite short. It's 7-4, isn't it? So that's what kind of drew me to Sabah. But I don't know. It's a tough one. I'd probably go with Goan. I think just for the fact that he beat Italy so well. Was it one and a half lengths before at York? But yeah, I'm not a strong fancy, Jamie. But I'll probably sadly go with the favourite.
Okay, Liam, I know you're not a favourite man. Is it between Jawan or Oxagon, or do you think there's something down the field for us at a good price each way?
Um, well, what I'm looking at, they're both 74 currently, and given the fact that then you're just going to be playing with one place potentially if both are declared. Obviously, this is being recorded pre-declarations. Then I'll be struggling really to fancy something because if it doesn't manage to finish ahead of one of them, the other one might beat it. And as I say, you're just playing with the one place. Oxagon's been absolutely smashed up over the course of the week. Italy, I couldn't have. No way he'd be a place lay for me. I think he's a bit. He needs further and further, in my opinion. So in a roundabout way, and kick us off on a little bit of a boring note, apologies, Jay, but yeah, no bet for me in this.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, but I see Oxagon was smashed up during the week, and I actually backed him the last time at Sandown, and he was really impressive. I know Gawan won at York, but I think I know it's going to be, there could be a lot of boring selections here. I'm sorry, and I apologise, but from me, but Oxagon will win, and I think it'll win impressively because if it gets to the front, it's, you know yourself at Doncaster, you get to the front. And it's like most tracks in the UK when it comes to flat racing, Sandown included. You get to the front, you're not going to be caught. And I don't think he'll be caught, and I think he'll win. I know it's boring, but at 7-4, I think he'll win. So we'll move on straight away to the 3 o'clock. Very interesting race, over 7 furlongs, is the Betfred Park Stakes. And the favourite here is coming back from a kind of a disappointing 3-year-old campaign at 7-4 in Shadow of Light. 10 Bob Tony is 5s, Marvel Man is 6s, 10's Poet Master, 12's King's Gamble, 14 Quinault, and 16-1 Audience. Liam, we'll start with you. Sure to be the guy King, Shadow of Light wins this, doesn't it?
Getting the weight allowance, mate, and obviously based on official ratings, you think he's going to be very tough to beat. Again, what's in front of me is suggesting he was fours earlier in the week, which if I've missed that, like if you're on at fours and he's now 7-4, you've got so much value in that price. Audience is a horse who's in and out. I was trying to find something, Jay, to take on Shadow of Light, and Audience spits the dummy out, doesn't get an easy lead and can go off in front. I'll give Seagulls 11 a mention. I'm not sure if you know the story behind that horse, but it's owned by a lot of former and current Brighton and Hove Albion footballers. There were videos knocking around of all them cheering in the change room after a training session when that thing went and won a couple of starts ago. 10 Bob Tony, I think, must be an each way bet to nothing to a degree. Marvel Man's another one who's been really well back. 16s into sixes. Poet Master also seen money. Course and distance winner. I'm not sure where that money's come from. I couldn't have him on my radar. But if you were confident enough to take on Shadow of Light, I'd suggest an each way bet to nothing would be 10 Bob Tony after his impressive win last time out. And I don't want to make this a theme. I promise there are bets, but it'd be a tentative selection, that one.
You actually mentioned a horse, Liam, that I kind of was mentioned on when I was on the final furlong on Monday night, and the lads kind of fancy Seagulls 11 each way. So I wouldn't go against that each way, but I seriously think if Shadow Light can't win this, I think it should be off the stud. And thanks very much. And he was a champion 2-year-old, and look, and you can just campaign him as a champion 2-year-old winner goes of his offspring, and that's about it. Mr. Rayner, favourite. Yay or nay?
I want to take him on. A lot of his wins, I wonder if he needs softer ground. I know we can't predict what the weather's going to be like, especially up north at Doncaster. So we've had some rain here in London, but I just wonder if there's
London is not Dublin. There's only one. There's nowhere past London, and there's nowhere past Dublin in Ireland. There is other places in England, like
everything past the Watford Gap is up north to me.
No. Love to know where the F comes with in north. I never know. Yeah, go on, yeah.
Yeah, I've just said a lot of his wins you said about his previous season in Newmarket. I think a couple of times he won on soft ground, and he's this season good to firm and good ground. Newmarket and Ascot, was he third and fifth? I just wonder if he might need a bit of juice in the ground. King's Gamble, I think he's 12 to 1. To me, he needs a bit further. So Liam mentioned actually Marvel Man is one I've come down on. I think he could be. I don't really like 6 to 1. He's quite short for me when they're doing each way bets. I normally like to do double figures, but he because of the Shadow of Light, I know he's a rating 119 and Marvel Man's 110, and they're both level weights technically. So he needs to find £9, but or 9 lengths. But I'll take a chance on Marvel Man each way. I know it's short 6 to 1, but
that's a good shout. That is, Ian. It's given the fact that given the fact that these 2 wins on good ground both came in Class 4 events, and as you say, every time he's been in group company, he hasn't won with soft in the going conditions, and that's happened on 3 occasions. Maybe he's far more vulnerable than the 7 to 4. Maybe what I said at the top of this preview was absolute nonsense, Jamie, and the 4 to 1 was into 7 to 4 isn't all that value.
Marvel Man's there or thereabouts. He was third at Newbury. He was third at Chepstow. I know he's behind more Thunder, but I don't know. There's something there, I think, with Oisin Murphy as well. Could be an each way to nothing, as you boys have said.
Big shout there for Boss Man there on the Marvel Man. We like it, but no, Shadow of Light will win. Especially, I know he won his Dewhurst on soft ground, but look, the only thing is that expanded for Aidan O'Brien is not that good, unfortunately. But look, that's the way it is. Right, we'll go on to the oldest classic of Britain's sad racing life. But anyway, 340 is the Betfred State Ledger, Group 1, and 11 to 8 is Scandinavia. 3 to 1 Lambourne, 9 to 2 Carmers, 8 to 1 Stay True. Further is 11 to 1, 33 to 1 the Rags. Liam, I will start with you and I'll come back to you straight away. This Stay True. Did you like his run in the Voltager?
I loved everything about it. I thought he'd definitely need the run, Jamie. We obviously mentioned him and flagged him a few weeks ago, didn't we, on another show? I really like the way that he travelled through the race. I thought he travelled like he was going to be the winner that day, and then just didn't find off the bridle. And how often do we see Aidan O'Brien horses come forward so much for one sort of run? Some people may be slightly concerned with regards to the Aidan O'Brien horses and how they're performing. especially the weekend just gone. What I would say is he didn't even bother going to France. Not to be disparaging to the runners there or to him himself, but he was at the sales. He wasn't even in France last weekend. And as we all know, he splits the season in two. He has a first part and a second part. And this weekend will be very much the start of that second part. Scandinavia could be difficult to beat. I just do want to mention Joe, fair play to him, months and months ago, stuck up Lambourne for this race, 2 points each way for Oddschecker at 14-1. So if I could have any bet, I'd go back in time and join him at 14s each way on Lambourne for the St. Ledger. Stay true. I don't think he should come here, but if after declarations there's still the 8 runners and he can get the 3 places on the morning and he's still around 8-1, I'd have a play. But his name will crop up 2 more occasions because he's got other entries this weekend, Jay. But yeah, Stay True is the one that's most interesting to me.
Ian?
I'm going to take a chance on Karmas. I think it's 9-2. This sort of group, they all seem to be, apart from Scandinavia, they all seem to be beating each other. I know Karmas, I think last time was beaten by Pride of Arrows, I think it was, and then Lambourne has beaten Pride of Arrows, and bit of a mixed bag if you want to say that. But say Scandinavia, should I say, was impressive. Last time out, we know 2 miles at where was that? Goodwood? Yeah, it was. Yeah. So as Liam said, he would be the main concern for me. But I'll take a chance on a Karmas, especially at the distance of 1 mile 6. I think he's been impressive. So I'll take a chance on him at 9-2.
Now, my next question for the two of you: does one of them stay at home, Scandinavia or Lambourne, or do they both run?
Ooh.
I think Lambourne would stay at home if out the 2.
Given the ammunition that Aidan O'Brien's got, they both run for me.
Yeah, I was kind of looking. I like to run the Stay True at York. It was very eye catching. And we've mentioned him, we flagged him, and I think he is at the moment, because there's only 9 runners in the field and each way bet to nothing. I know Karmers beat Scandinavia at Ascot, but Scandinavia is improved since and is going to be warm order next year to take on Trawlermen in the Ascot Gold Cup. But I'm going to go with Liam as well. I think Stay True. I think there's untapped potential there, and I think we've seen it all year. So I'll leave it at that.
Jamie, just out of interest, mate, obviously he's got 3 entries over the course of the weekend. Do you think he comes here?
Is he in the 1.5 miles at Leopardstown?
Yes, he is, and then he's in the Irish St. Ledger, which I think he's probably least likely to turn up in.
He won't go in the Irish St. Ledger now, because Illinois now has been flagged for that, isn't he? We'll get onto that. The other one is with El Azi, isn't it? Is that the race with El Azi?
It may well be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get onto one on that later.
Okay.
So, Stay True each way, and a bit of Karmers for Ian Bossman Ray. So we'll move on to the 320 at Leopardstown. Is the KPMG champion juvenile over a mile, Group 2, and the favourite, last time out winner at Leopardstown, is North Coast for Joseph O'Brien at 11-4. Benvenuto Cellini is 3-1. Isaac Newton's 5s, Montreal 5s, New Zealand 5s, Hardy Warrior 8s, a boy named Susie 14s. It's all Aidan O'Brien and Joseph O'Brien. Who's going to turn up? We don't know. Ian, anything tickle your fancy in this with the amount of boring Aidan O'Brien, Joseph O'Brien, nobody else?
Kind of. There was one horse I was looking at, which was Hardy Warrior at 8-1. But then, what did I come across? I think it was the fact that, excuse my pronunciation, that Benvenuto Cellini or Cellini.
Well done, boss man. You're getting there, boy.
Put him in his place. So that was what was that? Oh, yeah, it was 5-2 on. I'm trying to think what he won by. Was it in July? Oh wow, yeah, it was like 7.25 lengths at level weights, 9 stone 7. So that made me have a rethink. So I think that would be my selection. But I probably might have an each way on Hardy Warrior. But but Benvenuto Cellini or Cellini, that would be my selection.
I can't believe Bossman, he's at it again at Leopardstown, stealing my horses again. Oh my God. I honestly, God, all jokes aside, he won yielding to soft, and with the rain forecast, now I don't think it's going to get into the ground as much as it will get onto in the Curragh, but there is rain forecast Friday night and a lot of it, so It could be yielding to soft. He won in Killarney. He absolutely sluiced up at Killarney. And 3-1 at the moment, I'd advise anyone to back it because he's gone through the ground. He's a fine, big, strapping chestnut good. And he was seriously impressive in Killarney, I thought. So, yeah, I'm with the boss man here, Benvenuto Cellini for me. Liam?
They may as well run this in the O'Brien back garden, and from the 12 entries, there's only one horse that's not trained by an O'Brien. 4 for Joseph, 1 for Donica, and the rest are Aiden's. I'll tell you what, he'd do well at stud, wouldn't he, to be fair? I don't really have an opinion. I know you were keen on this second fav, Jamie, last time out when I think he was declared a non-runner. So I will just bow to your opinion, mate, and blindly follow you boys in.
Lovely. We'll move on to the next race. Is the 350, the CMG Group Stakes. Never heard that. Group 3 over a mile and a half. As we mentioned, Stay True is in here at 7-1. El Azi, I wouldn't back if you give me free money at 7-4. Sons and Lovers, last time out winner at Leopardstown at 5-1. Trust Your Instinct is 5. Convergent for Carl Burke, maybe coming over at 5-1. Stay True. Mount Kilimanjaro 8-1 the field. I will start off here. I think there's nothing, and I'm telling you now, nothing is going to beat Trust Your Instinct here. Last time out at a mile and 2, won the time before a mile and 4, goes on any ground. I think they might throw. I think they tried him over hurdles. I think and they went back to the flat. But he's just improving all the time. Sons and Lovers. I think this is going to be a prep for could be a tilt at the Melbourne Cup because I think they're going to bring him down. They might not. Joseph was on about it last time he won at Leopardstown, but I think he needs quicker ground. El Azi, oh God, no. But 5-1 at the moment. Trust Your Instinct. Going back at each way. It's an each way bet to nothing. It's even money. I don't care, but I think he'll win. He's improving all the time, and I think he's an absolute good thing. Trust Your Instinct. Liam, who do you think will win this?
Sons and Lovers is an interesting horse. As you've already alluded to, may not turn up here, but was absolutely punted off the boards at Ascot. And yeah, for no avail or no return for those that were on at big prices. 33s were available and knocking around and was sent off 11-2. As you mentioned there, Jay, then followed up next time out. The one, I hope he comes here. I really do. I think he'd be better at the mile and a half as opposed to the Ledger trip. He's only a point shorter in a much weaker field. And I think it would be the natural progression with maybe another target in mind. Trying to step him up to Group 1 company. I really hope Stay True turns up here and following declarations for Thursday, of course, tomorrow, most likely when this is out. If he's still in around a 7-1 price, I will be having a good chunk of that. So yeah, the same selection for 2 races, and he might even win 3 this weekend. Stay True.
Well, he's no chance in the Irish St. Ledger, I'll put that with you. Ian, who do you think here?
Well, I had the same opinion as Liam. I had a look at Stay True as well, and I was thinking when Karmas wins the St. Ledger, they will frank the form for Stay True, like about half an hour later or so. So that was my thinking. But as you guys said, with the multiple entries, I'm not sure whether he'll come here to Leopardstown or whether he'll run in the Ledger. But if he does run here, I will join Liam, and he will be my selection. Stay True.
Lovely, lovely. Right, we'll move on to the Group 1. Before the big race of the day is the Group 1 for the fillies, the Matron Stakes, the 425, the Group 1. Fallen Angel, last time winner out at Deauville, who beat January, is 5-2, 3-1. Cercene, the Royal Ascot, here, Harrowine at 5-1. Vera's Secret, who loves Leopardstown at 12-1. One Look, I think, is not coming here. He's going to Blandford on Sunday, confirmed by Paddy Toomey at Cork today. I was watching it. Exactly 16s, 25s, your likes. To be honest with you, I think I'll start off again. Sorry, now it's just a 2-horse race because I don't think Cercene will go on the ground. I see the Murphys were interviewed today in the Racing TV, and they said she might go through it, but she'd be better on better ground. She was rattling fast when she won at Ascot. January just doesn't go through with it, I don't think. And Fallen Angel is one of 1,000 guineas in the Curragh on soft ground. So 5-2, I think. Boring as it looked like, I think Fallen Angel, who was giving January £7 at Deauville, but now only gives it £5. All right, right. So there's £2 better, and you know what I mean, better off. So I can't see nothing past Fallen Angel. But the only thing with Fallen Angel, will she back it up? And that's been a problem with her career, I think. But she looked back to her best the last day, and I think she'll win. Ian, am I talking balmy, as they say in your language?
Oh my. Um, I had Sir Sene penciled down actually,
Hmm.
but as you said, he was second behind well at Goodwood on heavy ground. But you look at what happened with Well in France, it was last, I believe. So that's put a bit of a doubt in my mind. So I don't know. So I heard Sir Sene, but I'm not confident, Jamie, if I'm honest. So I might have to skip this one, I think. But so I'm not that confident in anything. Even you said about January as well. Not had a great season. I know finished second a couple of times. There's nothing that really stands out for me. But
No
if
bother.
you put a gun to my head, I would say Sane, but it's not confident.
Okay. Liam?
Yeah, I've been bitten by a few in this field. January, One Look was a horse I backed Ante-post for the Oaks prior to last
You're
season.
only missing Zaragana, Liam, really. Do you really want to say that, don't you?
She's still entered for the Arc, isn't she? She's got half a chance if she's well, she's got a chance, even
I heard the
0.01%.
last day she's actually going for the Prix de la Fara over 7.
Okay, we'll move on about her. So yeah, January been stung. One Look been stung a fair bit. Interesting that she's obviously now been purchased. She won't turn up here anyway. She's a much shorter price on Sunday at the Curragh. Exactly, another horse that I liked. I thought that was a decent race in that controversial win by Zaragana over She's Perfect over in France earlier in this season. There are a couple that have shown pieces of form that I thought were interesting further down the field. Cathedral's come on run for run, and has improved each time. Second last time out. But is a much shorter price at Doncaster on the weekend, so potentially doesn't line up here. And the other one was California Dreamer, again, another one where my fingers have been slightly bitten, but she's shown pieces of form, 2.25 lengths behind Lake Victoria at the Curragh. That is obviously exceptional. That is in a Group 1, but just so in and out and inconsistent. However, I'd probably be inclined, Jamie, and willing to find out if she can reproduce that sort of form at 33-1 and throw a very small each way bet her way. So California Dreamer, very tentatively, but I'll be willing to give her a chance in a bit of a windy field where a few of them have blown out quite a lot.
I actually really like that, Liam, because sometimes she might get away, turn off and kick off the bend at Leopardstown. And she definitely might finish in the first 3. And she might even win the bloody thing. I suppose the only thing I will hold fire about that, and I'm sorry to pour a
No, go on.
bit of water over the fire. Fear Seeker is going to take her on for the lead. And I think they're going to cut each other's throats. That's just me.
More than
But
possible, yeah.
that's just me, and set it up for the closers. But anyway, we'll find out. But a great show from Liam. Obviously, Ante-post Angle is his name. 33-1 is the name of the game. So next is the 4:55. The Tony Betts Solid and Away Stakes over a mile. It's a Group 2, which I always used to call this the Boomerang Mile, which was a better name. The Line in Winter is the 3-1 favourite who ran in France last week. I can't see it myself. 4-1 is Kakuza. Alakazi for Murta is 5. Johan is 6s for the Shannons. Comanche Brace 6s. Snellen 7s. Scorty Champ is 8. Chicago Critic is 12s and 14-1 bar. Liam, please save your big price in this.
I don't. I wish I did. I kept looking. And also the prices didn't go big enough for me, Jamie. Like the difference, I suppose it's become contracted and compressed in terms of the pricing. Because like you say, it's 6 days after the Lion in Winter has ran over in France. So is he likely to turn up? Probably not. And there's probably a few others. You got a few different course and distance successes in here. But when all was said and done, when looking through the field, I ended up coming down in a flat race on the specialist jumps trainer, Mr. Gavin Cromwell, and his horse in here, Snellen. I thought potentially was just still progressive. Went up to a mark of 108 after winning off 103 the last day at Leopardstown. Obviously beat Purview by a short head, just clinging on really, but who knows what more there is in the tank. It would be a tentative one. But I really struggled with this race, and the prices didn't go long enough, given the uncertainty for most of them when there's question marks around them, Jamie. So I'm assuming you perhaps were of the same opinion.
Oh no, I really fancy one here, but
Oh, there we are then.
we'll go to Ian first. Ian,
Okay, doke.
Um, tough again. I was just looking at Johan. I think to say he's
oh thank God he
currently
didn't say it.
what's he 9 stone 10. So he won. Leopardstown won the was it the Grade 3 Group 3, beat Alakazi.
Hmm.
So I'm just looking at the weight differences. I know he's got 9 stone 10, and I think there's £5 between them last time, but I still make it that Alakazi still needs to find. Oh, what was it? I think it's about another £4 or £5. It'd be close, but and he goes on the ground, Johan. I think he's won at he was third on heavy, and I think he won at Goodwood in 2023 on soft. So it shouldn't be an issue in case there's a deluge at Leopardstown. But I'll take a chance. 6-1. I'll go with the Shannon trained Johan.
Oh, lovely. Johan for keeping with the Brits for Bossman Ray. Fair play to him. Coming over to steal our prizes on our Irish Champions weekend. Uh, 8-1, lads, in here to Joseph O'Brien Horse is stealing money each way, I think, and it's Scorty Champ. Now, hasn't won since his 2-year-old days, beating Henri Matisse. But you have to look at the form. It's coming back to grade 2. I know it ran at grade 2 last day. It's on Clue, I think. Yes, it's on Clue. But look at the form. It is 8 lengths behind Rudin Court, who won a Guineas, 6 lengths behind Field Goal in the 2000 Guineas, and then only finished 2 lengths behind Deirez, who came over from the Jobman International and just showed that he just needs soft ground in French conditions. But basically, Roder was second at race at Saint-Cloud. He only finished 2 3/4 lengths behind him. Basically, Roder was second in the pre-nail the weekend to Calasafer for the Godolphin. I think back on a home soil, it's not a great race for the time of year, and especially if the line in winter doesn't turn up. Even though he's suspect himself because he hasn't won a race since his 2-year-old days either. But Scorty Champ is an absolute good thing, I think, here. Absolute. I'm putting it down, stamping it down. Good thing. So Scorty Champ is going to win that race, and I'm telling you. So it's Scorty Champ from each race, Snellen for Liam, and Johan for Ian Rayner. Right, the last day. We're through Saturday. We're nearly there. Is the Royal Bahrain Irish Champion Stakes. Gosling bottled it. So the favourite here at 5-4 is Delacroix. It's 11-2 and Matt. And then no, my prices are all gone. I have no reason why. 8-1. We'll start off from a big whopping price during the week. Was he 20s during the week, Liam?
Who's this?
White Birch.
Oh, if he was 20s, I didn't see that knocking
Yeah.
around. So he definitely would have been worth chancing.
Yeah.
And I doubt you've got it wrong, Jamie. So, yeah, he must have been. Yeah, well, I can see 16s on my screen anyway. So, yeah, now
Yeah.
around about 8-1, as you say.
There's no White
Course
Birch.
and distance success. They didn't get a clear run with him last season. A bit more juice in the ground, I think he'll be seen to better effect. What I want to see from White Birch is a really good performance, a nice preparation for him then to kick on the 5th of October, go over to France. And although the fillies have a fantastic record in recent years with the weight allowance, I don't think there's standout fillies in terms of the 3-year-olds comparative to previous years. Aventure was really impressive on the weekend. Absolutely. I just think potentially she was peaked a little bit. Mm-hmm. Almost the way she traveled through the race was incredible. And I'm just not sure if they can get her back to that in 4 weeks' time. It's almost as if she was in the physical condition she needed to be for the arc, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And it did turn into a bit of a sprint. Hopefully it's nice and boggy. White Birch, keep an eye out. Or I suppose if those that like an anti-post bet like myself have a few quid, I bet you can still get 20s, 25s knocking around for the arc. I'll be interested in watching him. But the one for actually trying to put money in people's pockets this weekend would be the Murta horse, Zaran. Is it Zaran? Yeah. I think that he's continued to improve. I think I like the fact that he doesn't show anything at home. Johnny Murta said, like, what he shows on track, he's absolutely nothing to how he's like at home. That's usually the good sign of a horse, so they say. So I'd be really interested to see how he progresses, stepping up in company here. I think Delacroix perhaps a tad on the short side, around 5-4. So yeah, it would be the Mercer horse for me.
Zeran is at the moment on Bet365 is 5-1 because my best odds thing just went blank on me, unfortunately. I just shout out the prices there actually at the moment. 10 to 11 now Delacroix with thing. Shin Emperor, who was third last year to economics, is 9 to 2. Zeran is 5. And Matt 11 to 2. White Birch 8 to 1 and 16 to 1 bar. Ian Rayner, Delacroix, Shin Emperor, Zeran, and Matt or White Birch. Who are we going for?
It's not the most original one, Jamie, but I think I'm going to have to go with Delacroix. I've got prices here of 5 to 4. I can't
Yeah.
advise the viewers who that's with, but that would be my selection. He's had 2 wins here at Leopardstown. So he's got the course and distance form. The battles with Ombudsman as well. Keep beating each other. Now, but Ombudsman beat Delacroix by 3.5 lengths last time at York. And before that, Delacroix beat Ombudsman at Sandown. Shouldn't find any issues with the ground. I think there's one on soft and yielding, that sort of thing. Would the weight be telling as well? 9 stone 3. With some of these others like Matt and Shin Emperor have got 9-9. I just think it could be telling. It might not be the best price, but if you like a short price, Delacroix would be the one for me.
Yeah, I'm Delacroix's biggest fan. I was shocked he was beating an Ombudsman. I suppose there's the question about the pacemaker thing, which has been a big argument on social media at the moment about pacemakers, and you don't need it in certain countries, but you need it in some certain places.
Go
But
on, Jamie. Give us your opinion on it. Because they've basically O'Brien, haven't they? He loves a pacemaker for his horses.
yeah, and I like what Aidan O'Brien called John Gosling last day. He's a whinger. I do like what he said. Yeah, I thought it was an AI. I thought it was an absolute piss take. To be honest with you, I thought it was an AI thing, and all of a sudden I said, I can't believe he said that. But fair play to him for saying it because Gosling is whingy. And then doesn't bring him to like that horse is. Obviously he's going to the Breeders' Cup turf. We all know that now because he'll need fast ground and they'll go really quick in that. But I don't think he stays a mile and a half, so I wouldn't be backing him for that because they have Rebels Romance is going to win that. But I don't know why he's not coming over. I just don't understand it, and he's absolutely no chance in an arc anyway on soft ground. So I just don't. I just don't know what they're doing with Ombudsman. I don't know. Can't understand why they can't take him on again. I'm like, that's what you want. You see it in jumps racing. Why can't you see it in flat racing? Just take each other on all the time. And have a bit of fun with it, and that brings people and crowds, attracting crowds. It's another clash again between Ombudsman and Delacroix. Do you know what I mean? 1-1.
Yeah,
We're going to see
agreed.
2-1. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, either way, yeah.
Yeah, Shin. No, Delacroix have beaten him. Yeah, if it absolutely, it's just a pity this race wasn't the Curragh on Sunday, Liam, because White Birch would be an absolute certainty because it's going to bucket down on Sunday at the Curragh. There's thunderstorms, about 20 mils of rain forecast for at the moment, at least before racing, so it's going to be soft, heavy ground at the Curragh on Sunday. I'd be all over White Birch if it was soft ground. Even if I hope it rains Friday night because I will back him. If I see Softon going, I will back him.
Yeah.
But like that Zaran, the problem with Zaran, what did he like? Los Angeles has done it again, and he only beat another Aga Khan horse the last day. Shin Emperor has no chance. And what's the other one? Yeah, and Matt been there, I suppose. Won't mind the ground, I suppose. Won an English Champion Stakes as well, but I hope it rains and White Bird each way. But I think Sumilion wants to prove that he's an equal deputy to Ryan Moore. I think he's just going to bomb him out in front and catch me if you can. But he is a hard ride, Delacroix. He is a hard ride, but he's won over course and distance. I suppose that's a huge factor. Right, we'll move on to the 240 on Sunday, which is the Moyglaire Stakes. And the favourite here is the Pre-Morny winner at 13 to 8. We don't know if she's going to come over. Is our first ride 7 furlongs is Venetian Sun at 13 to 8. 7 to 4 Composing, 7 to 1 Beautify, 10 to 1 bar the rest of the O'Brien yokes. Liam, again, anything bar the top two?
Because of the fact of how short they are, I'd have to have another look post declarations, Jamie. But Fitzella did catch my eye. Was beaten by My Highness last time out, who racked up a hat trick. Is evidently a very nice horse in his own right. So that was the one that was on my radar. I thought she was quite impressive when she won at Ascot 2 starts ago, I think it was. But that said, you can't really make much of a play currently when you've got 13 to 8 and 7 to 4 at the top of the market. And there's nothing wrong with playing at those prices if you fancy something. We all try to make this game pay in different ways, but I can't. I'll tell you what, I do remember the last time I backed something Shishkin in the Ryanair that short, and I haven't backed something since. That's how long ago it was. It's just not the way that I go about playing the game. And yeah, with one place available, yeah, not for me, Jay. So yeah, move on for me, unfortunately. No bet.
I was waiting for someone to say something about a Henderson horse on this show with Ian Rayner on the thing.
Well,
Oh my god! And then he mentioned Shishkin, and then it brings back reminders of two out in the King George. Thanks, Liam. You're such a pal. But anyway, I love this race. Phoenician Sun won the morning, beat a horse that we'll get on to Aidan O'Brien's later on in the National Stakes. But I'm just telling you now, she won't outstay composing, and composing for me will beat Phoenician Sun. Mr. Rayner, am I talking balmy, as I say?
no, you're not. I was just about to say I'm going to join you. Beating Susie Songs last time out in this race by 2.5 lengths at the Curragh.
Mhm.
Wins against Skydance at Leopardstown. I think it's one on Yielding as well in July.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to find. You said about in the ground if you could go heavy. I tried to look at some of the top of the market. A lot of them seem to like good to firm ground. So I wonder if it might just appeal that little bit to composing. But yeah, I'll join you, Jamie, with composing. I've got a price here of 7-4. I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
Yeah, 7-4 I have here. Yeah, it's composing for me as well, Ian. So we'll move on to the 3:15 is the Bar 1 Racing 5 over 5 furlongs, boring sprint division, spin the wheel. As for it, the non-top runner is 11-4 Bucaramanga Fuente, multiple course and distance winner at 7-1. Night Raider, who I bought into, is 10-1. Arizona Blaze is 10. She's quality 10s. Magira is 11s, 12-1. Bar. Liam, anything in here? I really struggled with this race, especially with the forecast soft to heavy ground, I'd say, which is going to happen.
I've loved this division because it obviously throws up massive shocks and big price winners. I've really enjoyed it, even when I felt a bit sick if I've got done by one. Who was the mayor? No more measure? No more measure?
No half measures.
No half measures. There we are. Even when that won at a massive price, I was scouring the exchange at the time and it was about 80s. And I thought, well, that might have half a chance. Did have a few quid. Did I toffee? But in here, Night Raider, in short, I think in the Numthorpe ran a very good race. I was doing a write-up yesterday, funnily enough, for my Ante-post angle column for Oddschecker. Finished it 16-1, about to send it off to the editor over there. Half the price, 8. So that got binned. 10-1 now. Possibly could play at that price. I'll be willing to take As4 on. She does benefit from having a run over this side of the water. We've seen that and was a good winner the last day. I'd also be wary of the second favourite. I was trying to find so we get a big price, but not one in this field particularly for me in this sprint event. But yeah, Night Raider would be the one that I'd want on side for Carl Burke.
I've been with that horse all year. He's driving me mad, but maybe because
this is the day, Jamie.
I hope you're right. I really do. But like as you say, his best performance, obviously, there's no doubt, has been on the all weather. So hopefully that the all weather will remind him, like the soft heavy ground on Sunday, that we're predicted and forecasting would actually remind him that he might be actually running on the all weather, and then he might win. So no, I'll sit it out. I don't think I'll have a bet, but Night Raider, yeah, but finally he might win a Group 1, but we'll see anyway. If not, he'll win an all weather group race soon when he'll be odds on or something. Mr. Rayner. Tough race, isn't it? Tough race, isn't it? The tough race.
It is a tough race. I was just looking. I keep looking at what you're saying about the ground as well. I've found one called Magira. I hope I've pronounced that right. It seems to have quite good form, especially in France. On the they always seem to have got awful ground, very soft and soft. A couple of wins in a couple of places there. Since coming to the UK, I think it was one at Haydock. Yes, beat She's Quality by half a length there. I'm willing to take a chance on Magira, 11-1 each way.
Lovely stuff, Ian. We'll move on to the National Stakes, the 350, the Vincent O'Brien National Stakes, Group 1 over 7 furlongs, and we have the second in the pre-morning, the Coventry winner, Gestad at 4-5, Sab Desert, the Superlative Stakes winner, which I think will go here, because Godolphin do love a runner of this race, at 4-1. Salvatore is 5s. North Coast, who could run on Saturday instead. Italy is 8s. Dorset is 14s, and it's 16-1 Bar. Liam again. This is a 3-horse race. but which one wins?
I'll be intrigued to see what happens in this market. So obviously Venetian Sun was beaten the last day, or beat, sorry, Gstaad. So depending on what she goes and does might dictate what his price is a little bit later in the day. I'm not too sure how the form stacks up. Obviously beating True Love, then True Love went and got beat. By this point in time over the course of the weekend, we'll know exactly the sort of fettle that Aidan O'Brien's horses are in. But the one for me, I'd be willing to just have a straight win bet by the time all's said and done, and we're at declaration stage on the Eve Johnson Houghton horse, Zavatiri.
I was just looking at that horse.
Yeah, managed to win again. Obviously, a perfect record, 3 from 3, and managed to win the last day at Goodwood on good ground, under a penalty, conceding £3 to the rest of the field, and potentially hasn't reached its ceiling yet. So that is certainly the horse that I'd be more than happy to take Gstaad on within this. And we might have the hat trick up as well, if all three of us are liking.
Oh, yes. Ian, go on. I'll let you go before me.
I was just looking at the last race to say you said about Zavateri beating Morris Dancer at Goodwood, and now just noticed that Morris Dancer came out after that and won at where's that? Salisbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that Frank's the form, won by 4 lengths.
And then who did he beat?
Let's have a look. Who Zavateri?
No, who did Morris Dancer beat at Salisbury?
A bit of spirit.
I've just had it.
A bit of spirit.
Yeah.
So
a bit of spirit won the Stellario at Sandown. Yeah.
Beating Humidity. That was in that very tight finish, wasn't it? Humidity was actually unbelievably commendable that day. Rallied when he had no reason to and got bumped around. But the form lines worked out as well. Well pointed out, Ian.
Yeah.
So I will join the 3 of you. I'll go with Zavateri.
Yeah, well, this is my only Ante-post bet of the whole weekend, and I backed it at 8-1, and it's Salvatore.
Oh, wow.
And it's the form line we've explained. It won at Newmarket in the Richmond, wasn't it, or whatever it's called? I don't know what it's called. But I just like this horse, and I think he's tough. Gstaad for me, I suppose they're thinking, he's a 7-pound horse. He needs to step up and trip. Saba Desert only beaten Italy. They thought Italy was going to beat Saba Desert. I don't think Italy's that good. I think, as Liam said, he could be a big time stayer in the future, Italy. But I just don't think he's quite that good as they thought he was. I suppose Gstaad is going to go off a ridiculous price of Venetian Summons the mile girl. I will say that, which hopefully then will drift Zavateri even further out. But I'm happy. I really like this horse all year. I've backed him for the 2,000 guineas on the back of his 2 runs at Newmarket and Goodwood. And the ground was good in the description at Goodwood and the Vintage Stakes, but you could see a little bit of cutting it as well. I don't think it officially was completely good ground at Goodwood. And that's going down another line of the sport that needs to be brushed up on the day of racing. But I think I'm going to take on the big powerhouses of O'Brien and Godolphin. We're a hat trick up, lads, with Zavateri. It's
also beaten Do or Do Not. I've just noticed as well the Zavateri and Gstaad both beaten the same hole. So there's not much between them.
It's going to be a good race, and hopefully Zavateri will tough him out and beat the lot. So it's only downhill after that, lads, if we have all a hat trick up. But anyway, we move on to the Comer Group 1 Irish St. Ledger, 425 the Curragh over a mile and 6 furlongs. And the favourite here, who I bought into a lot this season, but lost a lot of dough on, is Illinois at 9-4, 5-2 Al Rifa, 7-2 Amiloch. Scandinavia might run, might not. Doubt I'd probably go into the English St. Ledger. Al Kareem is 12 and 14-1 bar. Liam.
Stay true. He wins this as well.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think this is where he's least likely to turn up. I was struggling with this race. I'm definitely happy to take on Illinois, but he's finding something to take him on with. Al Rifa has taken a little bit of a drift over the course of the last couple of days. Obviously, he finished second behind Rebels Romance, and then when Rebels Romance steps up into true, if you want to call it true, kind of Group 1 company on either the Irish side or this side of the water, then he doesn't quite quite mix it, albeit what a commendable horse, absolute globetrotter, and just goes around winning all around the world. Amilok, I feel the price has gone slightly on him, around about 7-2, but he definitely would have been a bet probably around about 7-1 earlier in the week. I think the one that potentially I may come down on, and I looked at it and thought I'd come down on this horse and decided to do no more research, because I think, Jamie, this is your bet for the weekend, so I was going to let you take the honours, is the one with currently the cloth attached of number 1, Al Kareem.
Oh, no, you're totally wrong.
Okay, I haven't done enough research into Al Kareem, and it's a no bet race for me, because I thought Jamie was going to put him up.
No. Yeah, I get your point, Liam, with Illinois. I do, but you have to remember he did give a stone to Scandinavia. It is a good run, regardless of that. I think he's back to his best trip of 1.6 miles. Amilok, I suppose, is 7-2. I think a lot of the money's gone because a lot of people fancy the horse you mentioned for the Irish Champion Stakes, Zayran. Zayran was second to him at the Royal Ascot in the Hardwick or the King Edward at Ascot over 1.5 miles. Oh no, there's only one winner of this, and there's only one winner of this, and I've been saying it for a long time since I saw him when he won the trial for this race, and he won by 5 lengths. I know Shackleton's not a great horse for Brian, but there's nothing, and I've been cribbed by a lot of people text me, how do you fancy this horse? There's nothing going to beat Al Rifa. Crying out for a step up and trip. This horse is going to go around the world. Could end up in the Cup. In Melbourne Cup, they were thinking of that, but they knew after winning the trial for this that this horse is going to win the St. Ledger, and I'm all over Elriff. I think it'll just win. I think you'll see a really good performance.
Even on the ground, Jamie, if it's going to get deep and wet.
He can go on any ground. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, okay.
Ian?
I'm going to take a chance on one that Liam mentioned, which is Amalok for Rafe Beckett, should I say. Won every race so far. The eye catcher was when he beat Saran, that was mentioned before, saying the King Edward Stakes, and Saran has come out and won since, won at the Curragh, funny enough, by 2.5 lengths, and beat the same colours, Tangapore. So that was what was eye catching for me. Quite surprised, you're saying about Illinois is gone back to the distance that he had won previously, about 1.5 miles, 1.6 miles, after previously going 2 miles. I think it was 2.4 miles, wasn't it? One of the other ones here, Illinois went. But I'm going to take a chance on another English horse, Jamie. I'll go with Amalok.
God
Continue to run.
Is this an English Champions Weekend preview, or what are we doing? Jesus, like if we do an English Champions Weekend and we get Ian back on, he'll pick all Irish horses. But anyway, Amilok for Ian. Liam, what was your selection again?
I don't have one really, Jamie. I thought you were going to give a good mention for the one that I did glance at, but no real conviction behind any of them, mate.
All in on Al Rifa for me, and I'm all in on the last one we're going to preview. All in. Absolute. No, this is the good thing of Sunday. But I'll leave you first to tell if you're with me or not. So it's the last race we're going to preview. It's the 5 o'clock. It's the 1.2 miles Moyglare Jude's Blandford Stakes for fillies at Group 2. And the favourite here for Paddy Toomey is One Look, recently purchased by Wasnan at 2-1. Red Letter at 2-1. We Might Take the Long Road is 7-2. Snellen is in here, but might go on Saturday. Banvaria is 10-1. Naomi La Paglia is 12 and 14-1. Bar Liam. Big price in here, or is it between the top 2 or 3? As like it's kind of getting a bit boring that it is between the top 2 and 3 in betting of the whole day, or can we find bigger prices in this?
Obviously, I alluded to One Look earlier, and the fact that I thought she'd come here. She's a much shorter price. She'd be stepping up from a Group 3 success to a Group 2. Her course form here is 1-1-2-1, and that only defeat came finishing half length behind Porter Fortuna, albeit getting £3. But look, that horse has gone on to be rated 117, something daft. So that's not poor form whatsoever. She evidently loves it round here. So I think she's entitled to be at the head of the market. Whether she's entitled to be 2-1, I'm not so sure. That said, Jamie, sadly to end on a sour note in terms of our preview races, I just couldn't find anything again in here, mate. And given the fact we have covered off 13 races, there was bound to be a few where you're not going to have a bet. If you found 13 bets from 13 races you're previewing, then you'll end up in the poorhouse. But I do have a bet of the weekend, which I'll share, obviously, once you boys have said your piece on the 5 o'clock at the Curragh.
No bother. Liam, Ian, your final selection of the weekend, if you don't have a duel like Liam has afterwards.
Yeah. Sadly, not a jewel, but another short price, I'm afraid. And it's the red letter for the
Oh,
Lions.
God. I knew he'd say it. Go on.
Good record at the Curragh. Let's see what Liam was saying about horses potentially in this race that have got good records. There's one here twice. One last time out on the 30th of August, beat San Gazelle by a length and a half. There's one here as well, I think June or July last year. Beat late, sorry, it was beaten by Late Victoria and then beat Indigo Dream last year in July. One of an issue with the ground, one at Killarney, I think it was on soft. It beat Fiery Lucy. So I don't think Red Letter will have any issues with the 1 mile 2 as well. So yeah, going up another furlong in trip. So yeah, a short price, Jamie, but he'll be my selection. Sorry, her selection, shall I say? Red Letter, not him.
Yeah. I suppose my potential winning arc bet in Mini Hawk, I suppose I'd have to be interested in we might take the long road. Who was second to her in the Yorkshire Oaks, and it was 4 behind Whirl in the that race at the Curragh with Calpana in the race and Survey. But I'm with you, Liam. Yeah, Liam. Sorry, Ian. Red Letter, obviously, won on soft ground at Clarny, a listed race. If you watch back that race, Clarny, as you know, is local to me, and it's a mile on soft ground and a big long 3 furlong straight, and she took forever to get up. And then the last day, I actually backed San Gazelle to beat her over a mile and 1 at the Curragh in a Group 3. But just look back, San Gazelle travelled like the best horse. Didn't look like a step back to a mile is better for San Gazelle on faster ground after she winning at York. But just watch the way Red Letter went past San Gazelle. Looked in trouble and then whoosh, went past San Gazelle like that she wasn't even there. The extra furlong's going to help her. She loved the soft ground. And I am like you, Ian. I am all over Red Letter. I think it's one of the best bets of the weekend for me as well. Geez, I fancy a few actually. So yeah, hopefully it's a profitable weekend. Liam, come on, outside these 13 races, what's the jewel?
Yeah, so my best bet of the weekend will come in the 225 at Doncaster, the Portland Heritage handicap. And there's a horse who's coming back off a break, and you'd have to be willing to forgive his last run because he finished 9th of 9. But it's Apollo 1, who at the time of recording is 12 to 1. He was second in this last year off a mark that was £1 lower. He then went on from that race last year and won at Ascot, taking him up to a career high of 10, not a career high, sorry, but a season-ending mark of 109. So he's now come down £7 in the handicap for that. In this race last year, when he finished second, he split American Affair and JM Jungle. Not some bad form. He was giving them both £11 on that day. Obviously, they've both gone on to win Group 1s and Group 2s. That form's worked out incredibly well. He'll go on any ground. He'll be happy if there's a bit of juice in it. And I thought at 12 to 1, providing that he can come off the back of that previous performance, he was definitely overpriced. So Apollo 1 for me, Jamie. 12 to 1 the time of recording. Obviously, post-Dex, hopefully he's still in and around that price in the 225 at Donny.
Lovely. Lovely, Liam. Ian, any napper next best or anything after that?
Nothing away from the races we've discussed at Doncaster and Leopardstown at the Curragh. I'm trying to think of a name. I don't know. Come back to me, Jamie.
Liam,
Jamie, I was going to ask you. You've put up 2 that you really strongly fancied. I think it was the last 2 we previewed. Any idea what the double might pay? I know we're pre-Dex, but would you advise that double?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll advise that double. Alrifa and Red Letter, and I think the each way bet of the whole weekend is in the 455 is the Group 2 over a mile, and I think that Scorty Champ has a right at 8 to 1 as an each way bet in the race, and that'd be my best bet I think on Saturday. Liam, anything to add more? Napper next best? Who do you think could be Zayran is the one I think you're the most strong on, really, for the Champions Stakes, or am I?
No, 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 stay true.
Yeah,
Especially if he turns up in that group 3, Jay, then yeah,
yeah.
I'd be really keen on him.
Ian, finally one more till we go. Can we go out the door?
I'll go with my nap. I'll go with Benvenuto Cellini or
Yeah, I
Cellini.
like
That'd be
that.
my
Yeah,
nap.
yeah, I like that as well. Right, so we got through 13 races, and I think hopefully under an hour, so that's not too bad. Ian, do you want to, as you say, what did you say at the quiz? The plug. Do you want to plug to see what your content and where you can find you on? There's your plug. There's your plug. Where people can find you on X and social medias and all that in your channel.
Okay, well, I'm on Twitter. I'm at Racing Boss Man. Just recently changed my act or my name. Just trying to give myself a bit of a following. In regards to the Cheltenham Exchange, we're due to start in a couple of weeks. Got some a stable tour lined up potentially. Just need to get that rubber stamped, and then it'll probably be the middle of the month. We'll do our horses to follow. We're going to do like we did last season, a set of handicappers to follow, and potential graded horses to follow, and also just a review of the previous season. So about 3 or 4 videos due to come out in the next few weeks. So keep an eye on the Cheltenham Exchange going forward.
Lovely, Ian. Liam, I suppose we'll be talking, and we'll be back next week with another preview.
Absolutely, yeah. Look forward to it. We're getting closer and closer to the proper stuff.
Exactly. Right, lads, like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us all on X. This content is for your liking, and it's free of charge. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.